I quit my six-figure corporate career not just once, but twice, during two distinct phases in my life and for completely different reasons. They were incredibly brave decisions that I'm extremely grateful for, despite facing judgment and people warning me to not make these mistakes. Could I have approached things differently? Maybe. Do I have any regrets? Absolutely not. In this video, I will tell you the two things that led to my great resignations and the invaluable life lessons I learned along the way. It feels like just yesterday when I was caught in the corporate grind. The long hours, the meetings, events, nearly 50% business trips, not to mention the constant pressure to achieve more. But in my younger years, I never quite minded the so-called rat race. I had it all. The title, the money, the lifestyle, the perks, the so-called success. Life was great. That was all before parenthood. After I became a mother, my world and my priorities shifted dramatically. I heard many times before that parenthood changes you, but the truth is, you can never fully grasp the magnitude of that transformation until you experience it firsthand. Before becoming a mother, I was someone who enjoyed working hard and playing hard. Even though I've always loved children, the idea of quitting my thriving corporate career to become a full-time parent was just ridiculous. Maybe you're thinking the same. After all, quitting your job is probably the last thing on your mind as a working parent, especially if you're a single working parent, because you need stability more than ever, and having a career can also do wonders in terms of maintaining your self-esteem and sanity. I know there are a lot of extraordinary working parents out there, including my friends, who successfully juggle between their families and careers while remaining present and committed to their children. It is possible if you have the financial means to outsource tasks or a strong support network of family and friends, but that doesn't mean it is easy or that it is sustainable in the long term. And it becomes even more challenging when your job demands frequent traveling, or if your support network is sometimes inconsistent, unreliable, or simply absent. Even if you have the financial means, you can only delegate so much because, let's face it, you cannot outsource the irreplaceable quality time your kids want from you, especially in those early formative years. And that's when it hit me as a single working parent. I still remember the days when I had to shuttle between the home, the office, kindergarten, playground, and activity centers, trying to do everything myself and minimize delegation because I wanted to be a fully present and dedicated mother. Even though all the locations were very close to each other, it was still not easy to find a balance when you also have a career that needs your attention. Then one day, my toddler asked me the most innocent question: "Mommy, do you need to work? Can you play with me?" I felt terrible. I suddenly remembered all the times when my toddler would ask me to play with him at 5 a.m. or 6 a.m., but I'd be too exhausted because I had worked until 2. I also remember the times when I wanted to take him to school and every activity class to savor every moment, but I only managed to do it some of the time and had to delegate the drop-offs and the pickups because I was also trying to meet work deadlines. My child's innocent question was a powerful wake-up call. It made me realize that I was stretching myself way too thin. I was trying to perform at work while being there for my child, only to realize that my energy was limited, so I ended up failing at both. For not being fully present as a mother and not being fully committed at work either. It was a triple loss situation for my child, for myself, and for the company. Something's got to give. Shortly after I quit my job, I spent 1 year devoting 100% of my time and myself to my child, and that was the happiest and the most rewarding years of my life. I am so glad I did it because no amount of career success could ever replace the joy and fulfillment of being there for my child every step of the way and simply creating beautiful memories together. It is said that 75% of the time we spend with our children in our lifetime will be gone by age 12. By the time they reach the age of 18, 90% of our parent-child time will have slipped through our fingers. We are all given the same 24 hours a day, so this becomes a simple question. How do you want to spend your limited time, which is ticking away with every passing second? Quitting your full-time job might not be for you because everybody's situation is different. As our society progresses, I think being a working parent is relatively easier now when working from home or flexible working hours are no longer foreign concepts, and organizations also prioritize work-life balance a lot more than before, especially after the pandemic. So don't feel bad or guilty if you choose to be a working parent, as long as you can find a balance that works for you. And about parenthood, here are the most important life lessons that I learned as a mother. I discovered the power of unconditional love, the strength of patience, the true value of time, and the art of balancing responsibilities. And by seeing the world through a child's eyes, I learned to appreciate the little things, to find fulfillment in simple moments, and the importance of being fully present. Parenthood pushes me to become a better person every day, not just as a mother, but in every aspect of my life. The second time I decided to quit my six-figure corporate job was about a year ago when I stepped into another phase in my life. This time, I quit to prioritize myself. Here's what happened. During that time when I went on my gap year to spend time with my toddler, I had declined many attractive career offers that involved relocation, long hours, or business traveling. I eventually decided to take on an unambitious backstage role at a Big Four firm. It was not an easy decision for me, but I needed a job that would give me the time freedom and stability to be a working parent as my child started school. I was bored and felt unfulfilled. As my child started to grow up and became more independent, I knew it was time to change course and do something completely different. Without having a clear direction at the time, I still made the courageous decision to quit. Over the past year, I went on a journey of self-discovery, prioritizing self-care, setting clearer boundaries, and putting my happiness above all else. I started to become more active, going on weekend hikes and to the gym more regularly, improving my diet, and even trying traditional Chinese medicine, which I never believed in, but turned out to work wonders and cured some of my long-term health issues. I also made it a point to distance myself from people who drain my energy or don't add to my life. I drastically cut back on social networking events to protect my energy, and I finally got more time and 100% freedom to invest in whatever stocks I wanted, which can be difficult if you work at the Big Four or other similar organizations or financial institutions because of compliance issues. I began reading more books, exploring meditation, and rediscovering what truly made me come alive. The moment I started prioritizing myself, my energy and the energy around me shifted. I became more clear-headed, more energized, more positive, and more open-minded. I was happier and healthier. I discovered during this stage of my life, success isn't just about climbing the corporate ladder, and it isn't all about being a fully present and committed parent either. Because children grow up, at some point, you will need to refocus on yourself and find clarity on what you want to do that makes you happy and makes your life worthwhile. Always prioritize your well-being and tune into your inner self as your top priority. Because once you're healthy, happy, and feeling balanced, everything else will follow. This YouTube channel was born after I refocused my attention on myself. It feels great to work on something that brings me joy, and of course, it is not always sunshine and rainbows. Sometimes I struggle and want to procrastinate, but I would get back on track and keep going. So here I am today, standing on the other side of my two great resignations, grateful for all the lessons that I have learned, and my message to you is this: life is too short to settle for anything that doesn't bring a smile on your face. So begin by prioritizing your well-being above all else. Embrace your passion. Don't be afraid to take that leap of faith. Just make sure you look before you jump. I want to share with you one of my favorite quotes from Buddha. What you think, you become. What you feel, you attract. What you imagine, you create. If this video has inspired you, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. And if you want to show your extra support, you can also buy me a coffee anytime you feel like it to keep my creativity going. I will leave a link below. Keep shining, and I'll see you next time. Bye!